Hello there, sports fans. Ope here talking to you, and I'm sorry I haven't put a video out all week until this point. Busy with work and such, as always. That's my excuse. But I've come today to talk to you about something, and I'm going to urge you to not do anything until next week. All right, and we'll get into that in just a second. So, there's some events going on this weekend. I wonder if we've all heard. If you're on Discord or Reddit or their Facebook group, they post stuff about events that come within a day or two. Or if you follow content creators, usually they'll give you a heads up. I am not an official content creator. I don't really aspire to be. I just like doing this as a hobby. But even the regular content creators didn't get news of this until this morning when they all woke up or right before they all went to bed, because a lot of us watch guys that are, from Europe and stuff, like, Hell Hades and Nubkex and all those guys, and Scratch as examples. But let's kind of go over something here real quick. We have an event coming up. As we know, this weekend is all ×2 voids, so you have double the chance of getting a legendary and or an epic this weekend. So real quick, go here, boom, and then let's look at the info so we can understand what our chances are. This weekend we will have a 16% chance of getting an epic, and we will have a 1% chance of getting a legendary. It's very tempting, right? Voids are the best. They really are the best of the best. They have no weakness in terms of affinity, and I mean generally all around, like some of the best champions in the game, like top tier, S tier, are void champions. To kind of give an example, we have Krisk, who I'm very lucky to have, and we'll just go over the best of the best. Siphi, I don't have. I wouldn't say no to one. I have a little Miss Annie though. Nobody says yes to that. And who is another void, the top tier that we just did? They did a Warlord. I don't have one, but at this point in the game, I don't care if I get a Warlord or not. But those are just some examples, right? Those are things that you may or may not get this weekend. But there's also a thing that they're doing this weekend that's really going to make you want to pull. I mean, you're going to burn for it. So let me go over it. There are 4 tiers to this, and this is how it goes. Accounts that are level 1 to 40. Alright? If your account is level 1 to 40, if you take first place in this champion chase tournament, you will get a Genbo the Dishonored. So let's take a look at that guy real quick. He is a very good arena nuker. I like him. He's a very good epic. He has a couple abilities here. Attacks enemy 2 times. Each hit steals any increased attack on the target, and also has a 30% chance of stealing a random buff. The increased attack buff steal cannot be resisted, so he does need accuracy. He has Heartless Blitz, attacks all enemies, 80% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs by a turn. This effect cannot be resisted on critical hits. So we'll get into that. Places 30% increased crit rate and crit damage on him for 3 turns, then gives him an extra turn. Now he has a passive. He is immune to decreased attack and will ignore unkillable buffs when attacking under an increased attack buff. He also has a speed aura for the arena for 20%. That's really good. That's more than Duchess. That's more than Nekmothar. He's all around solid. He's squishy, but he has decent attack. Speed's 99. That's fairly good. So essentially, you'd build this guy up to 70% crit rate, and you're going to open with his A3, and then slap everybody and kill him with the A2. That's how he goes. Genbo is very good, and he's going to be very good for levels 1 to 40. He's even good for endgame players that just want a quick farming arena team. And then anybody that's level 41 to 50, you're going to get a Skull Crown. Now, I do love Skull Crown. She's fallen off a bit. She has a sister here in Sinesha. But Skull Crown is she's one note. I deal a lot of damage. Alright? She attacks all enemies. Will place an extra hit if the target has more than 50% HP. So she's like, on her A1, she's like, I'm making sure you're getting under 50. Alright? Then she has an A2 that is Corrupting Touch. This does hit very hard. It has a 75% chance of placing the big weaken buff, or debuff, and it will attack everybody, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. She has some passives. She will get unkillable for 1 turn every time her hit point drops below 20%, 4-turn cooldown. And then if Sinesha, who is her sister, is on the team, she will get From Beyond. Revives her with 30% HP, and that's on a 6-turn cooldown. And she also has an even better arena aura for speed by 23%. Very good. I like her. Decent stats. She has higher attack than Genbo, but she also doesn't go through unkillable and all that fun stuff. So that's levels 41 to 50. Now, here's a guy that if I was in this bracket, I probably wouldn't pull for. So if you're levels 51 to 80, if you get first in this giant whale fest, in this kraken of the deep, you're going to get a Godfried Brassclad. I don't even know what this guy does. He doesn't look great either. He looks like a chess piece. He looks like a rook. Never mind. I actually really like him now because he looks like a fucking rook. Apparently he's made out of brass. And let's look at him. He'll attack an enemy 2 times. His first hit has a 50% chance of placing decreased defense, the big one, for 2 turns. The second has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Okay. So that's a bit weird. Attacks all enemies. Books up to 100% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn. Has a 3-turn cooldown. Seems pretty good. He is a defense-based champion, so I assume he's like a defense-based nuker. He will place increased defense on all allies and removes any decreased defense and weaken from all allies. That's a 3-turn cooldown. That's like not a bad cleanse, because those are the 2 things you really want to get off your team, other than like stun and freeze and provoke and all that. He has a passive. The passive effect is whenever an ally is attacked while under a block damage buff placed by this champion, has a 75% chance, books to 100, of placing a stun on the attacker for a turn. Interesting. The active skill is if an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, blocks the incoming damage and places block damage on them for a turn. And it's on a 4-turn cooldown. I mean, he's weird. I really wouldn't know what to do with him. I actually kind of want to see his moveset because he looks fun. But that is for levels 51 to 80. Now, if I was in that, I wouldn't. He actually looks like Granyar's brother. I wouldn't pull if I was level 51 to 80. That's not worth it to me. Here's where they're getting us. It's been a while since they've unleashed a very overpowered champion into the game. And they did that over, 2 weeks ago? And just guess who it is. Yeah. That's right, Bastafus. They just released Bastafus to the game. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, Bastafus is shit. He was one of my first legendaries. No, this guy. Everything they've done this week is telling us, spend your shards. Yeah, nothing's coming. Don't look behind the curtain. There's been rumors floating around from the content creators and everybody in the community that's like a guaranteed Void Legendary is coming. It's most likely 90 to 110 Void Shards, and it's now definitely everybody's got big red flags out. That's going to be next week on like Tuesday or Wednesday probably. Most likely Tuesday. Yeah. If you take first from levels 81 to 100, you will get a Theodore the Savant, who is the best dungeon runner in the game. He clears Ice Golem. He's actually in the world record team for Dragon at 16 seconds at level 25. Means he's got 2 Calvalaxes and a Yumiko and who's the other one? Can't remember. Don't matter. But anyways, yeah, this guy's great. We'll go over his abilities quick. A1 attacks all enemies for 50% chance placing decreased speed for 2 turns. His A2, 100% chance when booked, places 2 poisons and a poison sensitivity debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and also places increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. And it has a 3-turn cooldown. Now this is his big whammy. This chemistry, or chemistry, increases the duration of all poison debuffs and HP burn debuffs by a turn, and then it will instantly activate any of those poison debuffs and HP burn debuffs on each enemy. Places 25% weakened for 2 turns on enemies not under poison debuffs or HP burn debuffs. This is a 3-turn cooldown. This is bonkers. I watched this melt teams on 25 dungeons, especially the Ice Golem, and then he solos the Golem. This guy is fucking bananas. Alright? Just to really make sure I get that demonetization in this video, I'll drop a couple more Fs throughout the video. And then he has this passive called Fumigator. He gets increased resistance by 5 for each poison debuff on the enemy team. This guy is crazy. He's got great base speed. He's got good base defense, great base HP. This guy is, like I said, he's bananas. Do I want him? Is my retarded brain being fucked by stupid if I say no? Yes, I want this guy. Theodore is amazing. Here's the thing though, you ain't getting him. About 1% I would actually go to 10% of the player base are Krakens, Leviathans, ancient ones, Eldritch beasts. They're like
Release the Kraken.
They're like trust fund kids or stockbrokers or whatever have you, however they came by their money. They're going to get Theodore the Savant. This is a big, like, mythological aquatic creature fest. Alright? I'm tired of saying Kraken. The thumbnail for this video is going to be the Kraken from Attack of the Titans from the old claymation. But this week we had Warlord as a ×10 for CVC. We had Prince Kymar as a ×10 for CVC. 2 highly wanted champions for Arena. They're basically essential. And then the weekend before, we had the ×10 on Bad Alcazar, Calvalax, and Theodore. Like, are you crapping me right now? They're milking us for money, baby. They're milking us. They want it. They can sense it. They can taste it. And to get that dopamine hit, to get the very best, like, I want to be the monkey in the group that has all the bananas. A lot of you are going to buy. You're going to buy those Void Shard packs. And you're going to be real sad because you're going to get a Whirlum Frost King. You'll get a Vizix. Oh, you'll get a friggin' Little Miss Annie. You're going to hate yourself. And then next week, I promise you, you watch. If I'm wrong, I'll donate $1 to your favorite charity. But if I'm wrong about what I'm going to predict for next week, which is what everybody's predicting, like all the signs are pointing to that, just like how we're in a recession right now, we will have a guaranteed Void Legendary Champion next week. I'm willing to bet 90 to 110 shards. That's what he's going to cost. And it's probably going to be this kind of really shitty version of Duchess. Like, don't get me wrong, Raka Valtide looks great, but something tells me it's going to be her. It'd be nice, actually, if they had, like, 3 Void Champions that you could choose from. And then, like, when you get there, you get to choose which Legendary you wanted. That'd be kind of cool. Spice it up a little bit. Those are my predictions. Here's my message to you, for the people. Do not. I know your fingers are gonna itch, your thumbs are gonna itch. Playing this game, you can be I got 90 of them. I got 90 Void Shards. Let me open them. Let me stop. Get the guaranteed champion next week. Don't waste it on this. You ain't got the money. You ain't got the credit line. Be smart about this. I'd have the same talk with myself. My clanmates had to have the same talk with me. Take your girlfriend or wife or husband or boyfriend or whatever you're into. Take them out for something nice this weekend. Go to dinner. Spend your money on something that means something this weekend. And then next week, be prepared. Okay? That's it. I've had enough. I love all of you. I want you to have a wonderful day. I want you to have a wonderful weekend. If you do decide to pull, I hope your pulls are all Sifis and Leoriuses and Cardiels and all that good stuff. Yumikos. I hope you get them. Alright? It's lights out for me. Have a wonderful night.